Good day, human Latiosites. This is Latios Azubral, and welcome back to the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Battle of Hoenn Tournament. Here we are, back in Hoenn. So, let's go do this. Let's go into Battle Spot, and I think this might be the final day for the tournament. Or, it's not a tournament, technically, it's a competition. That said, we are getting ranked, so whatever. Let's do this. So, our final day of this tournament, I think. I know I keep calling it a tournament, I know it's a competition, whatever. So we're going against Johnny. Alright, let's see if we can pull more wins than losses this time. So, I see there is the Sceptile, there's the Armaldo, the Glalie, the Metagross, the Masquerain, and the Pikachu Libre. It looks like it might be an in-game team. Might not be, I don't know. But judging by his rating, it could be. But I still wouldn't underestimate the Metagross. So... there is going to be a Flying Press on that Pikachu, should he use that, that is. Alright, you know what? I am going to go with... I want to bring Swampert, but not for that Sceptile, though. I probably might bring Latios for the Sceptile. And... I guess Metagross. Metagross can probably handle most of that team, except for the Metagross itself. So let's go Metagross, Swampert, and Latios. That seems to be the team I've been using the most. But... whatever. That just seems... they just seem to have the best base for the opponent. Because it doesn't make that much sense for me to use Swampert with Glalie, because they're both Mega variety, I guess. Alright, so we are leading off with Metagross, while my opponent does lead off with the Sceptile. So, let's Meteor Mash. Just to get that attack, potentially get the attack boost. That's probably a Mega Sceptile, and it is a Mega Sceptile. So it is going to Mega Evolve, and probably go for a Leaf Storm? No, X-Scissor. Okay, it's going to be neutral. That'll hurt, but not too much. Yeah, not too much at all. So we're going to land that Meteor Mash. Are we going to get the Hacks, though? Do we get the Hacks? No, we don't get that Hacks. That's unfortunate. I'm going to go for another Meteor Mash, just for the chance of the Hacks, because X-Scissor won't do too much. I could have Bullet Punched, but I'd rather have a chance of getting that attack boost. I want that attack boost, seriously. Come on. Really? No attack boost? Okay, that's unfortunate. Alright. Whatever. Sometimes you just gotta try. You gotta go for it. Let's Meteor Mash this thing. We're not gonna outspeed. Oh, great. Okay, it's gonna crunch us. That's gonna hurt. But it's not stab, so we should be okay. Besides, we can go for a Bullet Punch next turn if this doesn't do enough. It's super effective, it's stab, it will KO. Once again, that's 3 Meteor Mashes in a row and not one attack boost. Hopefully, our luck with hacks will increase throughout the day. So, and finally the Metagross is going to come out. There's a chance that Metagross could have Earthquake. I'm going to go for a Meteor Mash, just in case it doesn't. No, it's Pursuiting! Huh. Interesting. And it outspeeds us. You know what, I don't have speed investments in this Metagross. So... alright, I'm just going to go for a Hammer Arm. I'll let him take out mine with the Pursuit. There's a very good chance it's an in-game team, because... I don't know, I've never seen anyone run a Pursuit Metagross. You know what? Maybe it's a thing. Maybe Pursuit Metagross is a thing. I have no idea. But I'm just going to go into Swampert and take this thing out. I am going to Mega Evolve, just so I don't leave anything up to chance, because this is a competition, of course. So, we are going to be outsped. I have no doubt that Swampert will be outsped, because I don't have speed investments in this Swampert. There's the Zen Head, but if that's an in-game team, it won't do anything. It does get the flinch, though. It does get the flinch. Swampert always gets flinched by those Zen Headbutts. I don't know why. Come on, Swampert. Land the Earthquake. Oh, thank you. Okay. I mean, either way, even if this doesn't KO, which it is, Latios can just go for the Shadow Ball, because I don't think it's going to Zen Headbutt, it's just going to go for... I don't even know. It would have to get a flinch on Latios, because we do have that Sash. So, that is going to be one win. Of course, that was an in-game team, so I don't take too much credit for that battle. But a win is a win. So we are 12-9. So far, we're off to a decent start. So our next battle is against someone in Japan who... Wow, that's a good rating. That's a really good rating. So, there's the Seeking, there's the... Oh, great, Skarmory. Alright, we just lost. Now, we'll try. But I see that Skarmory, I know it's going to be a wall. So, best case scenario is the Skarmory does not come into play. The Ludicolo does scare me as well, though. So, my opponent brings the Skarmory. I'm gonna bring Pikachu. Because if this is Skarmory, I'm gonna actually T-Wave. I want the Skarmory paralyzed, so it won't be able to roost up every other turn. A little bit risky if my opponent doesn't bring the Skarmory, because then Pikachu is pretty much... I mean, just taking up space at that point. For the Manectric and the Donphan, I have to bring Swampert. For Ludicolo, Swampert can't do anything at all. Also for that Blaziken, Swampert's not a bad idea. Metagross can take care of not that much on that team, so I think I'll bring Latios. Plus Latios has that Sash, and is a special attacker for that Skarmory. Let's do this. If I had Thunderbolt, if I gave T-Bolt to Latios, that would actually be convenient for the Skarmory, but instead I'm just going to have to go for Shadow Ball. Whatever. So we're going to go against our opponent now. So yes, I am entering this tournament, well, this competition with a Pikachu. You can see how seriously I'm taking this. And my opponent leads off with the Ludicolo. Huh. I'm gonna T-Wave. Oh dear, Manectric? Please don't be Manectric. Okay, my opponent switches... Lightning Rod Seeking! I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know Seeking gets Lightning Rod. That changes the whole game. If I knew Seeking got Lightning Rod, I might have actually considered bringing Gallade instead. Which is Icicle Crash. I can't Quick Attack, I can't Spark. I can't Paralyze it. All I can do is get a flinch. Come on, can we get a flinch here? Really? It's setting up a sub? A bulky Seeking. This just happened. Alright. Alright. It's not even gonna break the Sash. Oh wow! Oh no, the sub, I mean, it did break the sub. Huh. The Seeking have... Is that just a stall Seeking? I feel like that Seeking might have rest. All I can do is just hope to just get a flinch on it. Well, a bunch of flinches, should I say. Come on, can we get a yeah, okay, there's the flinch. That's pretty much all we can do at this point, since Pikachu is just gonna be toxic. Damn. Alright, come on, Pikachu. Really? Really? You're really gonna play this way? Okay. Sub, Protect, and Toxic. I really don't like that Seeking. I really don't like that Seeking. Alright, get a flinch, get a flinch. Okay, there's the flinch. Probably gonna protect this turn. Be my guess. So, I don't have... Alright, I'm gonna go into Latios, expecting... I don't think my opponent's gonna predict the switch at this point, because I haven't done it yet. Unless my opponent does and goes for a Toxic. Let's see that Protect. Yeah, there's the Protect. Okay. We will outspeed, unless my opponent decides to switch. So... I should be safe to go for a Psychic. And that will do enough to take out the Seeking. So I am really glad I made that switch. I was able to predict the Protect, because it was pretty obvious. Alright. So now the Blazing is going to come out. It's going to go for a Protect, I can already tell. But... I need Latios for that Ludicolo, though. I'm gonna go for a Psychic. It's gonna Protect anyway. It's gonna Mega Evolve, actually, but it's gonna go for... I'm pretty sure it's gonna go for a Protect. I can't imagine a world where it doesn't. Yeah. There's a Protect. I could have actually switched into Swampert, which would have been the better move. Because then I'd have Latios to finish off Blaziken and take out the Ludicolo. Because now Swampert is pretty much just there. Knockoff? A knockoff Mega Blaziken? Are you kidding me? Well, we're gonna take it down, but still. Knockoff Mega Blaziken. Oh my god. Alright. Well, let's just see if we can... We are going to outspeed that Ludicolo with our Latios, but I don't think it's going to do nearly enough. There's the Rain Dance. That is going to be the end of us. That Rain Dance will be the end of us. Because it's going to get the Swift Swim, so it'll outspeed us now. There's the Ice Beam. And it's on Life Orb. Swampert is gonna let it get back to full health. It's gonna go for a... It's gonna Giga Drain. Pikachu can go for a Quick Attack. Pikachu won't outspeed, though, with the Swift Swim up. We just lost this battle. That Life Orb guarantees is gonna KO with the Giga Drain. Unless it somehow misses, which I can't imagine it missing an Ice Beam. Yep, there's the Giga Drain. It just outsped us. It's gonna outspeed Swampert. Yeah, we can't win this. We can't win this, because quad effective Giga Drain in the rain. We just lost. We're gonna be outsped with the Giga Drain, so Swampert's gonna go down. Yeah, I should have actually gone into Swampert for that Blaziken. I should have actually switched when I knew the Blaziken was gonna go for a Protect. Because Knockoff wouldn't have done as much on Swampert. It wouldn't have KO'd. We could have won that. Wow. Because I would have been able to preserve the Sash. That is a loss I will take credit for losing, because that was my fault. Had I made the safe switch when the Blaziken Mega Evolved into Swampert, Blaziken couldn't one-shot a Mega Swampert. So we could have taken out the Blaziken with an EQ, and then 2 Psychics would have taken out the Ludicolo. In the first turn it would have Rain Dance, second turn it would have Ice Beam, but we would have lived in the Sash. So this time there's a Salamence, there's a Latias, there's a Metagross, there is a Blaziken, there's a Gyarados, and a Breloom. I'm going to lead off with Metagross, just because Breloom leads off, best case scenario is us leading off with Metagross. Salamence leads off, once again, best case scenario, lead off with Metagross. For that Breloom, Swampert is going to be a problem. Then again, for the Gyarados, I might be better off having Pikachu. But then again, Latios is another option. Unless it Mega Evolves, and Latios is a pretty bad option. I'm gonna go for the same team again. Metagross, Swampert, and Latios, because not much Galliod's gonna do in that team unless it's a Mega Gyarados, even then. Latias is pretty much same set as Latios. Pikachu is, I mean, not gonna accomplish too much against that team, other than the Gyarados. But that's on the assumption that he brings the Gyarados. So, here we go against our opponent. So, our opponent is going to... Alright, she's leading off with the Metagross. Okay. That's a bit unfortunate. Is that an Earthquake-bearing Metagross? I feel like that might be an Earthquake-bearing Metagross. If it's an Earthquake-bearing one, then I can't stay in. However, if it doesn't have Earthquake, if it does have Earthquake, I should switch to Latios. If it doesn't have Earthquake, I should go for Meteor Mash, predicting a switch. I'm gonna go for the Meteor Mash, and if it has Earthquake, then I can't do anything, because I don't want to a support Metagross! Okay! It's a support Metagross? Huh. I guess it doesn't have Earthquake. Otherwise it would have done it already. Well, my guess is it has the Light Clay then. Huh. That's a bit unfortunate. Now my opponent can just freely switch into the Blaze. I should have gone for his Send Headbutt. I bet you it goes into Blaziken. I bet you my opponent goes into Blaziken. And there's the Blaziken! Called it! Alright, can we get the attack boost? Okay, there's the attack boost. Alright, now let's then Headbutt, because the Blaziken would need a one-shot. It's probably gonna be a... No, it's gonna bulk up. Huh. Maybe my opponent thinks I'm thinks I'm Scarfed. Wow, my opponent must have thought I was Scarfed. Otherwise, I can't imagine why you would bulk up in that case. Huh. Okay. There goes the Blaziken. So the Gyarados is going to come out. It's going to intimidate us, but we're not going to lose anything, so... That could be a Mega Gyarados. It wasn't a Mega Blaziken, so there's a very good chance that is. So... Do I Hammer Arm, or do I Meteor Mash? You know what, I'm already going to end up losing Metagross. That's inevitable. I'm just gonna Meteor Mash and I'll Hammer Arm next turn, just in case it's not a Mega Evolution. Because it is gonna D-Dance up, so I'm glad I didn't go for Hammer Arm. I'm kinda glad about that. So we're gonna go for that Meteor Mash. Because it's gonna be resisted, but at least it's Stab. Of course, Gyarados is now going to... It's at +1 attack and speed. It's gonna be a problem. The Ice Fang is gonna be a problem on... Wow, it is a Mega Evolution! I don't know why it didn't Mega Evolve before, but... Huh. Now you're subbing up. Interesting. Can that break the sub? Please, break the sub, break the sub, break the sub. Alright, I at least want to get rid of that sub before we do before it kills us with an Earthquake. So, can that break the sub, please? There, we got rid of the sub, so if it's gonna EQ, at least the sub will be... No, it's gonna Dragon Dance. Alright, you know what, I'm gonna Hammer Arm this time. This way, because our speed is already too low for that Gyarados to handle, for it to even do anything. So if it's going to Dragon Dance again, so be it. Nope, it's going to Earthquake, and Metagross is going to go down. No way we live +2 Earthquake from... Is it +2 or +3? I don't even know. But we are going to end up losing it. The Reflect is going to wear off. That does change things a little bit. Swampert can Earthquake, but we can't live an Earthquake from that thing. I mean, we do have defense investments, but not enough. Gyarados can we do have a Sash on Latios, so... Let's go for a Dragon Pulse. Unfortunately, the light screen is still up, but I can only do what I can do. There's the Ice Fang. Kinda knew it was coming. We are sashed. Hopefully it doesn't freeze, though. We're flinch. Do not flinch. Okay, I need you to crit here. Break through that wall. Now it wears off! The screen couldn't wear off. Okay. Earthquake's gonna kill us, thanks to that Mold Breaker. Great. We just lost. Perfect. Just perfect. Alright, well, for that extra defense, let's just Mega Evolve an Earthquake. Alright, Swampert. Just try. That's all I ask, try. Live one hit. Doesn't even make a difference, because Metagross is going to take you out. Okay, so we are going to live that hit, so we're going to take out the Gyarados. But we still have to take out that Metagross, though, which is support. So... the question is, can we outspeed the Metagross? It probably has some speed investment, I would guess, if it's a support set. But if it's a support set... Huh. It probably has Zen Headbutt, though. My guess is going to Zen Headbutt and Swampert goes down. No, it's Meteor Mash. Swampert, can you live a Meteor Mash from that? We can. But it probably has enough defense investments that... No, it doesn't! We are actually going to win that one! Wow! Semi-bulky Swampert wins. Interesting. See, like I said, all we had to do was live one Earthquake from that Gyarados. So let's move on to our next battle, because now we are 13-10. So far today we have gone 2-1. Alright, so there's the Milotic, the Swampert, the Skarmory, Roserade, Salamence, and Metagross. I'm getting a little tired of seeing the same exact Pokemon every single battle. I'm really tired of seeing Skarmory, Salamence, and Metagross, because I see them all the time. Alright, Swampert can handle very little in that team, actually. The Metagross and the Salamence, to a degree. Gallade can handle a portion of that team, actually. So I'm gonna bring Gallade this time. I'm gonna bring Metagross, Latios, and Gallade, I think. Because Latios can handle the Skarmory, Gallade can handle the Leaf Blade, can take care of the Milotic and the Swampert. Everyone on this team, except for Swampert, can take care of the Roserade. And, I mean, Salamence is up to... We'll see what we can do. As far as the Metagross, I guess Latios is gonna have to do that. So let's do this. Alright. So... it looks like we're actually gonna outspeed on the first turn, in theory. Our opponent is going to be leading off with the Skarmory. Ugh. That is not what I wanted to see. That is definitely not what I wanted to see. Alright, you know what? What can Skarmory do to Metagross? I'm going to Meteor Mash just for the attack boost. It's going to set up rocks, so our Sash is effectively broken on Latios, which is going to make a huge difference. And it avoids the attack! Are you serious? And it outspeeds us too? Why would you taunt a Metagross? I mean, this isn't a support set, obviously. Oh dear God! Rocky Helmet. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. And the Sash is broken on Latios too. I should have switched when I had the chance. I should have brought Pikachu. Because now... I'm gonna Meteor Mash again because I know it's gonna roost up, but... all it can do is now wait for us to just die from the Rocky Helmet damage. Oy. We just lost. I should have brought Latios back. Either Latios or Pikachu. Pikachu could have paralyzed that thing. Latios is another special attacker. I should have just switched to Latios before I could set up those rocks, because now I bet you... Okay, there's Drill Peck on that thing. Okay. So does it also have Toxic? Alright, it's gonna roost up. I wanna know if that thing is toxic or not. I'm gonna go for a recover here, because I don't know what else I can do. But if it doesn't have toxic, we're okay. But I'm fairly certain that it is toxic. Because I can't imagine running a Skarmory without it, in that if you're running a defensive wall. I mean, I have actually seen physically offensive Skarmories before, but I feel like it would have used Shadow Ball. It would have used Toxic by now. Ooh, sorry about that. Sorry, the screen just went black for a second. Can we get the defense drop here? You know what, it's drill packing, so there's a very real chance it doesn't have toxic. That actually could change the game. If it doesn't have toxic, we might actually have a chance here. Okay, there's the special D drop. We cannot recover now, though. But you know what? I'm gonna go for a Psychic here to finish it off. Just in case my opponent would try to switch, Psychic should do enough. So we are actually gonna take down the Skarmory, because it didn't have Toxic. If it had Toxic, we would have had problems. But Skarmory is gonna go down. Another stall wall, really? Ugh. I'm gonna go for a Psychic. Great! It's gonna Mirror Coat us. Goodbye, Latios. Goodbye. Nice knowing you. Just perfect. Okay. So that's gonna take out Latios. I probably should have just switched to Gallade at that point. I should have expected something like that. But I was afraid of a Scald, predicting the switch, because it would be way too obvious at that point. Alright, let's go for a Leaf Blade. Gallade should be able to outspeed. And, I mean, Leaf Blade, I don't know, it might do enough, unless if there's full defense investments. Milotic can live it. Really? Alright, do not burn. Do not get... What?! How do you get that burn?! At the #1 most important time to ever get a burn, you happen to get that burn. Gallade, why would you get burned like that? I'm going for a Psycho Cut here. Just in case you're going to switch into the Roserade. Just in case. I mean, best case, your smartest move would just be sack off your Milotic, since Gallade's already pretty much is crippled. Why did the Milotic have to live by like a sliver? Gallade, you're officially done. You can't do anything else, depending on what the opponent is. Just... And it's the Metagross. Great. Fire Punch or Close Combat? I'm just gonna Close Combat. We should be able to outspeed a Metagross. No, actually it's a Mega Metagross. Probably can't. If it's fully invested in speed... Huh. Alright, we are gonna outspeed, so we're gonna go for that Close Combat. That's not gonna do anything. There's enough defense investment in that thing, it's gonna live. Actually, no, it's not defense in... Oh, we avoid the attack. That does change things. Except now it can just Bullet Punch us. No, it's going to outspeed us because it's the Mega Evolution. Perfect. Okay. Just perfect. Alright. And the Assault Vest won't help us because it's a physical attacker. Perfect. Just perfect indeed. Let's just Meteor Mash it. It's probably gonna have Earthquake. I feel like every single Metagross, except for my own, has Earthquake. I feel like I have the only Metagross that doesn't have Earthquake. And if our Milotic didn't get the Burn Hacks, we would have been able to probably take down the Metagross. I don't know. Maybe the Close Combat might have done more. I really don't know. The hacks just destroyed the battle. I can't believe that. So that'll bring us to 13 and 11, so we're 2 and 2 today, I guess. Alright. So there's the Blaziken, there's the Mawile, Gyarados, the Lantern, Xatu, and Heracross. Alright. I fear the Mawile, actually. Heracross concerns me, but not as much as that Mawile does. Now, Blaziken does, to a degree, but I think our best bet is Swampert instead of Gallade. Because Gallade can handle the Lantern, and that's, I think, it. Unless it's a Mega Gyarados, but at the same time, the Mega Gyarados... I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this team because... last time, Gallade kind of disappointed me with taking that hack so easily. So, alright. This time we are going to use Swampert. Of course, I'm leading off with Metagross, just in case you're going to lead off with that Mawile or the Gyarados to Intimidate. There's the Mawile. There's the Intimidate, and there's the Clear Body. So I'm pretty sure the Mawile is going to end up Sucker Punching us. I'm going to Meteor Mash. It could be a Mega Mawile, which is most likely the case. Yeah, there's the Mega Mawile. I'm expecting a Sucker Punch, but I really can't do anything about it. Wow, no Sucker Punch. This is going to be a neutral Meteor Mash. Can we get the attack boost? Alright, there's the attack boost. It's going to knock off our Assault Vest. No, it's not. It's going to take us out. Because knockoff is a thing. And huge power is also a thing. Swampert will never outspeed, so by the time we land a hit, it'll end up going for... It's gonna Sucker Punch Latios, but Latios can live the Sucker Punch. Earthquake will KO, assuming we can live a hit, but then nothing will ever get hit with something from Swampert to begin with. So I'm gonna have to let it break our Sash here. It's gonna Sucker Punch us. I'm gonna have to Shadow Ball it. Wow, does it not even carry Sucker Punch? I guess it doesn't have Sucker Punch. Unless it goes for Sucker Punch now. Yeah, it does have Sucker Punch. I should have recovered. Not that it would make a difference to begin with, because eventually you would just go for Play Rough again anyway. I don't know why it didn't go for Sucker Punch last time. That makes no sense to me. But, I mean, it would have made more sense to actually Sucker Punch everything. I'm just gonna Earthquake. We're gonna lose Swampert anyway to a Sucker. Oh dear God, are you gonna go into Gyarados? No, you're gonna go into Xatu! I am so stupid! Why would I go for Earthquake when there's a Gyarados and a Xatu on that side of the field? And a Heracross? Why am I so stupid? Seriously, why am I so stupid? Why am I so stupid? Maybe my opponent expected me to set up rocks for some reason? Not that it would make any difference at all. Other than... No, my opponent wanted to get that Toxic down. Wow! You should have just Sucker Punched. Would have saved us time. Would have saved so much time, because now it's going to end up going for... It's going to go for a Protect this turn. Either that or Recover, something like that. It's going to go for one or the other. I bet it goes for Protect. Just to get that extra toxic damage and time and turn down. If my opponent is a... No, I'm gonna go for a U-turn. Alright, I bet she goes into the Gyarados or the Lantern now. Either that or the Mawile, expecting the Ice Punch. Nope, going into the Lantern, predicting the Waterfall or Ice Punch! Wow! That's just perfect, because the best move to make at that point would have been making... I can't go for Earthquake this time, because my opponent's going to end up going back into Mawile. But you know what? I have to go for Earthquake anyway. You're gonna go... Sorry, you're gonna go into your Xatu again, aren't you? Yep, you are! I mean, it really wouldn't have made a difference anyway, because then the Mawile can just go for a Sucker Punch later on anyway. Sucker Punch would KO. I don't know why my opponent is being a douche about this. I'm just going for Rock Slide. Screw this. And there's Sucker Punch on the I'm done. Sucker Punch on the Xatu. That's just wrong. Especially, you're running two Pokemon with Sucker Punch. The Sucker Punch Toxic Staller. That's rich. So, we're gonna go down from toxic damage either way. I mean, it really makes no difference, because either way, the Mawile, even if we didn't die from toxic this turn, the Mawile would take us out with a Sucker Punch. So, it really made no difference. My opponent just wanted to show off. I don't know. I really don't. That's just... I don't know. Maybe I'm just being salty. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of people wasting my time. I'm okay if you're legitimately going to do better than me, fine. But just don't waste my time. So that'll bring us to 13 and 12. So we're gonna move on to battle number 26. So there is a... I'm getting really sick and tired of these Metagrosses. If they bring the Metagross and the Milotic, then I don't even... I'm upset. If I see the Milotic and the Metagross on that team, I will be upset. You can call me a hypocrite because I'm bringing my own Metagross, possibly, but... It's the only thing I have with priority. Other than Quick Attack on Pikachu. But I brought a Pikachu, so... And I've used it. So, you know what? You can say what you want. Alright, I'm gonna go with Metagross, Swampert, and Latios. I don't have anything for that Milotic, though. So you know what? I'm gonna bring Gallade. Because Swampert would be good for the Blaziken, but we have a Psychic. We have a few Psychic types that would be good for that. As far as the Metagross goes, that's gonna be a problem. But... I don't really know what to say. So, the Wigglytuff, I mean, we have Metagross for. We'll see what happens. Alright, so our opponent is going to be leading off with the Roserade. which is going to obviously outspeed Metagross. Alright. I wonder what it's going to do, though. Alright, there's no dark types on that team, so I'm just going to go for a Zen Headbutt. My opponent is going to switch into Blaziken. Huh. That was actually a pretty bad move, because now we can just go for the KO. That was a really poor move on my opponent's part. Especially because what else is a Metagross going to do to a Roserade? Huh. Well, so my opponent's going to set up that Sunny Day, which is, I mean, not going to make much of a difference, actually, in the long run to my team. I mean, unless it's a Sash Roserade, which even if it is, we can just go for a Bullet Punch. So far, we're doing okay. This could be an in-game team. Alright, so the Intimidate isn't going to affect Metagross. I think we might actually have this down, because although that Salamence could Mega Evolve and go for an Earthquake, we might be able to live it because it's not Stab. There's the Mega Salamence. Plus, we can go for the Dragon Pulse with Latios. It's gonna go for a Hyper Beam, which is gonna be Flying type with the Aerialate, which is gonna be resisted. Plus, so our Meteor Mash is gonna miss. Wow, okay. Come on, Metagross, you can't miss like that. Alright. So let's try this again, unless it's gonna go for a Fire Blast this time. No, it's gonna Dragon Claw. So it's a mixed Salamence? You know what, that might actually be an in-game team. Because we're gonna crit that time, and that's just gonna be a 1-2-3 from Metagross. That was actually pretty simple. I'm assuming that must have been an in-game team, because I really have trouble imagining a competitive team like that, with a mixed Salamence like that. I mean, the only way I can imagine a mixed Salamence instead of Hyper Beam if it was running Draco Meteor, I could understand possibly. But either way, that's going to bring us to 14 and 12. With a 2-game differential. Alright, so our next opponent is right around where we are, well, rating-wise. I see a Sableye and a Metagross, and a Ludicolo. I am not too happy about that team. Now, Ludicolo is probably going to set up the Rain Dance, so we'd have one chance probably to possibly take it down. The Salamence does scare me though, and so does the Metagross. It's probably going to have Earthquake, since every single Metagross I've seen so far, except for one, has had, actually two, has had Earthquake. The Salamence does bother me though. Gardevoir, not so much. So you know what, I'm going to lead off with Metagross, just in case you're going to lead off with that Salamence. And I really can't bring Gallade because of the Salamence and the Gardevoir and the Swellow. Swampert's not going to do too much on that team, but at the same time, neither is Gallade. Well, Swampert actually has some defense, though, so I'm going to bring Swampert this time. And as for the Gardevoir, our best bet is Metagross. The Salamence, our best bet is probably Swampert. No, actually, no, our best bet's Latios, I think. Because of the Will-O-Wisp. And for the Ludicolo, our best bet is a Prayer. Let's do this. Alright. So, our opponent is going to be... We're going to actually outspeed our opponent on the first turn in theory. And our opponent is going to be leading off with the Salamence. as I sort of expected, so it's gonna not intimidate us because we have the clear body. Alright. Let's go for... I think we can safely go for a Meteor Mash. I mean, if you switch into the Metagross, then not much I can do. So it is going to be a Mega Salamence. So that's another Mega Salamence. I've seen a lot of these lately. And this one is going to miss its Fire Blast. And we didn't outspeed our opponent. If you're going for Fire Blast, I could just switch into Swampert. But at the same time, I don't want to risk getting burned. But I need Metagross for the Gardevoir. I don't really need Swampert for anything else, so as long as that thing is going for Fire Blast, I am just going to switch into Swampert. Plus, it can't intimidate us anymore, so I don't have to worry about keeping Metagross out there for the switch. There's the Fire Blast, just don't burn. Swampert, don't you dare get burned. Alright. So let's Mega Evolve, and... do I Ice Punch, or... do I Ice Punch, or do I predict the Metagross? I'm gonna Ice Punch, because I don't want to over-predict. I bet you go into Metagross. No, Ludicolo! I'm actually glad I didn't go for Earthquake, then. I'm really glad I didn't go for Earthquake. Because now, we're gonna Ice Punch. Can we get a Freeze Hacks? Give me the Freeze. Give me the Freeze, give me the Freeze, give me the Freeze. Now, okay, you're gonna Giga Drain. You're gonna Giga Drain us. I don't need you back at full health. You're probably gonna set up a Rain Dance, but my guess would be you're not gonna set up the Rain Dance this turn because you needed to go for the Giga Drain, because you'd have speed anyway. Yeah, you're gonna Giga Drain Metagross, which isn't gonna do too much at all. Now the question is, do we outspeed the Ludicolo? I think we... just chance? We're not going to if it sets up a Rain Dance. But... no, it's gonna Scald! It's not even gonna Rain Dance! You know what, it probably doesn't want to rain... that just cost us the game. Unless we crit here, we just lost the game. If we don't crit, we lose. Actually, we have chance. We need a high roll here. We need a high roll. We don't need a crit, we just need to max damage. Actually, we don't, we can just Bullet Punch, but we are going to take out the Ludicolo. So, that actually puts us in a somewhat decent position, because although Metagross is now crippled and practically dead, we do have Swampert at full health, and we have Latios with the Sash. Since there's no rocks up, Latios is fine with that Sash. Salamence can't get an Intimidate down. It's going to take us down. I'm just going to go for a Bullet Punch. It's going to do absolutely nothing because we are burned. But at least we'll get some damage down. So the Hyper Voice, while resisted, is going to take us down. But Metagross was kind of crippled anyway at that point. So, I'm going to go into Swampert and see what we can do with an Ice Punch. The thing is, my opponent going to predict the Ice Punch again and go into Metagross? Or maybe my opponent doesn't have Metagross. The Draco Meteor! I'm pretty sure Swampert just went down. No, we're gonna live it, because Swampert has better defense than, I don't know, say Apache Risu? That could live a Draco Meteor from a regular Salamence? Whatever, we're gonna take down the Salamence. And that'll be that. We also have, so the Gardevoir is gonna come out. Would have been nice to have Metagross, but we do have Shadow Ball on Latios. So, no, this is Earthquake because we're not gonna outspeed. We are gonna end up losing Swampert, but depending on what Latios can do, if Latios can one-shot this thing, then we should be okay. Unless, depends. If Gardevoir outspeeds us, we're screwed. If we outspeed, then we should win. Because I don't think Gardevoir gets any priority, so let's go for the Shadow Ball. Gardevoir does outspeed us! So Latios is gonna cling to the Sash. But it all depends on how much our Shadow Ball can do. And you get the special attack drop! We just lost the battle. Unless it's speed tie, we lost. That special attack drop meant everything. Actually, it didn't. We probably wouldn't have taken it down. And it's a crit. Great! You get the crit! We don't get the crit, you get the crit! Why would we get a crit? We don't get crits! We mess up, we lose, we don't get crits, that never happens. Why would that happen? Come on! Oy. That'll bring us to 14 and 13 with a 1-game differential. Wow, we're having some pretty bad luck. Alright, our next opponent is doing a little bit better than us as far as rating goes. So I see the Regice, I see the Manectric, I see the Gallade, Swampert, oh dear god, Skarmory. I don't hate Skarmory, but I don't like seeing them here. I really don't like seeing these Skarmorys here. I really don't. They really bother me. Latios has the Bright Powder, so it's an option, of course. Swampert is an option. Metagross can handle a lot. If I bring Latios and Latios, it's only because of the Skarmory. Because I want to take that thing down. So... the Swampert bothers me. That Swampert does bother me. Then again, do I bring Swampert or do I bring Metagross, Latios, and Latios? If I bring Swampert, I'd be able to handle the... You know what? I'm gonna bring Swampert. I'm afraid of the Skarmory, but at the same time... I don't want no chance. So, if there's no Skarmory, which I guarantee the Skarmory is probably going to lead off. I'm fairly positive that my opponent leads off with Skarmory. No, my opponent's going to lead off with the Manectric. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to Meteor Mash. I know my opponent's going to Flamethrower, but... no, Flame Burst. Odd, but okay. Could be an in-game team then. That's odd. Although even an in-game team I would expect Flamethrower from. Alright, I'm just gonna go into Swampert. Because why not? Why don't you predict the switch? Nope, Flame Burst. We'll resist that pretty well. Not Stab, it'll do very little. Alright. It's actually a crit, so that's not too good. Alright, so I'm expecting my opponent to go into... if it goes into Skarmory, it really doesn't make a difference what I do. If it goes into Latios, that would be a problem. I'm gonna go for an Ice Punch, just in case you're gonna switch into, I don't know, Latios, predicting the Earthquake. I prefer there not be a Rocky Helmeted Skarmory. No, I'm over-predicting! Of course I'm over-predicting. Of course I'm over-predicting there. Is that Scarf in the Flame Burst? Doesn't matter, we're gonna get a crit and take it out anyway. But I'm still over-predicting. know what, that could be an in-game team. Alright. That Gallade could end up having Leaf Blade, and if it does, last thing I want is Swampert out here. I'm just gonna go into Metagross. Expecting that Leaf Blade because I kind of don't know what else to expect. Also, I'm expecting the Mega Evolution on that thing. Yep, there's the Leaf Blade, but no Mega Evolution. Not Stab, it's resisted, we're gonna live that. And there's the Life Orb. So, alright, let's go for a Zen Headbutt. We're not gonna outspeed. That thing is gonna Drain Punch us though, which is gonna be neutral and stab. Alright. So we're gonna Zen Headbutt that thing, and that'll almost take it out, but we're gonna Bullet Punch it. So there's a very small no, it does. Okay, we'll be able to land the Bullet Punch, and that should take out the Gallade. Gallade's somewhat frail, so yeah, we are gonna take it out with the resisted Bullet Punch, and that'll bring my opponent into their last Pokemon. This very well might be an in-game team. There's the Mega Swampert. There's the Mega Swampert. So let's Zen Headbutt, because why not? So it is going to Mega Evolve. Interesting, my opponent chose... Actually, every Pokemon on my opponent's team except for Regice and Skarmory was could Mega Evolve. How much do you want to bet we're not going to get the flinch hacks on this thing? My opponents always get the Zen Headbutt flinch on my Swampert. I never get the Zen Headbutt flinch hacks on a Swampert. Did you ever notice that? Did you ever notice how it always works out that way? Every single time? I mean, in the long run, it's probably not going to make that big a difference, but still. It would still be nice to, for once, be able to do that. Alright, that Swampert's probably going to outspeed us because we don't have any speed. No, it's going to protect. Probably trying to scout. I can't imagine why else it would protect. Whatever. No, we're actually going to outspeed. Yeah, that's probably an in-game team. So my opponent is going to land the Earthquake. We should be able to live an Earthquake from Swampert. So let's just finish it off with our own Earthquake. My opponent might... Nah, it's not going to protect. Just going to take it like a man. So we are going to land the Earthquake, and that's going to take out that Mega Swampert. But in all honesty, I'm pretty sure that... And it seems our... Okay, I'm pretty sure that that was an in-game team. Because I don't know why else you would run that kind of team. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Which I probably am. I often am wrong. So that'll bring us to 15 and 13 with a 2-game differential. Can we win the last 2 battles? Come on. Alright, so I see a Machamp. That's different. I mean, I've seen Machamp in these battles before, but still. So Latios, Mawile, Machamp, Ludicolo again, Regirock, and Starmie. Alright. I really want to bring Swampert for the pretty much everything on the team except Starmie and Ludicolo. And, well, I guess for Latios, Mawile, and Regirock. I want to bring Latios. I guess I can bring Latios for the Starmie. So, I'm going to have to bring the same exact team again. I know I didn't use Latios today, but... so far. But Latios and Latios pretty much, since they have the same moveset, it's pretty much the same thing, only with a little extra attack on Latios and defense on Latios. And of course, I mean on the special side. So, other than that, I mean, Shadow Ball on the Starmie. Pretty much, we can actually Bullet Punch or Meteor Mash on the Regirock. Zen Headbutt on the Machamp. Dragon Pulse the Latios, and should be okay. We'll see what happens, though, because my opponent, I'm pretty sure, is not going to be stupid. So, my opponent is going to be leading off with the Ludicolo. My guess is either it's going to Rain Dance or it's going to Scald. And I bet you if it's Scald, it burns. I bet you it gets the Burn Hacks. I am willing to bet it gets the Burn Hacks. Alright, it is going to Rain Dance. That's kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna land a Zen Headbutt, though. But it's not quite gonna do. It's not quite gonna do half. So it's actually gonna Surf, not Scald. That's interesting. And it crits. It gets the crit. Really close. I'm gonna Bullet Punch to finish it off. Unless my opponent might switch. Yeah, my opponent is going to switch, predicting that Bullet Punch because of how obvious it was. And go into that Ribbon-Bearing Latios. Huh. So my opponent will outspeed with the Latios. The question is, what will my opponent do? If Bullet Punch did that much, Meteor Mash might KO. But if my opponent goes for a Shadow Ball, I lose Metagross. I'm gonna go into Swampert. I'm gonna go into Swampert right now. My opponent might actually have double switch, just to get my Metagross out. No, my opponent is gonna go for the Shadow Ball, which is why I wanted to go into Swampert to begin with. So, I'm gonna Mega Evolve, and I can Ice Punch, I guess. I guess I'll Ice Punch. My opponent's probably gonna switch. No, my opponent's gonna stay in. Now we're gonna double our speed in the rain, not on this turn, but starting the next turn. But that's gonna make very little difference. We are gonna gain some defense, well, special defense here, I think. So the Shadow Ball will do a little less, and we're gonna Ice Punch. I don't think we're gonna outspeed even in the rain, though. Alright. So the Ludicolo is probably gonna come back in, and it's gonna go for a Giga Drain. Yeah, that is unfortunate. That is definitely unfortunate. I have to go into Metagross now. Unless my opponent is smart and goes for the Surf. If my opponent is really smart, he'll go for a Surf right now. Not the Giga Drain. Because Surf would probably take out Swampert anyway, and Ludicolo would outspeed Swampert. No, my opponent is going to go for that Giga Drain, which is going to do almost nothing to us. So, the question is, how badly does my opponent want to keep that Ludicolo alive? I have to go for a Bullet Punch because my opponent's probably going to withdraw right there, yeah. But I can't do anything about it because I have to stay in. And it's going to Intimidate, even though it's not really going to Intimidate. You're not intimidating anyone, Mawile. Alright. This isn't very good. Alright. That's a pretty bad situation right now because if I go into Swampert, Swampert goes down, and then I don't really have anything to take down Mawile. Except actually Latios might. Latios might take down Mawile. But for right now, I have to go into Swampert here, pretty much as a sacrifice, because Mawile's gonna Mega Evolve right now. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, because that actually changes everything, because now, huge power, it does Sucker Punch, and of course the rain stops now. Of course. So... I guess I have to Earthquake. Mawile is gonna not Sucker Punch! Wow! We're actually gonna outspeed and land an Earthquake. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Now, I'm gonna let Metagross go down to a Surf. Because I can't just in case it's gonna go for Giga Drain, I can't let it gain health back. I can't let it take down Swampert. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go for the Surf right now. Because... No, we're actually gonna live! Wow, okay, I expected it to take us down. That might be an in-game... Yeah, the match is gonna be forfeits. Might be an in-game team, either that or... I don't know. I really don't know. But even if it did take us down, I would be able to go into Latios, and... Obviously, it could Ice Beam. Unless it gets the Freeze Hacks, we'd be able to go for a Psychic and take it down. So, that'll bring us to 16 and 13. 3-game differential, and we're going to be starting our final battle. As we find our opponent, who looks like he really knows what he's doing with a score of 1639. So, if this can't end well. So my opponent is going to have the Mawile. Great, another Mawile. I'm getting tired of seeing these two, actually. The Latias, the Donphan, the Breloom, the Gyarados, and the Gardevoir. Alright, I'm not gonna bring Latias. I don't know. I think I'll bring Metagross. Just because of that Gyarados intimidating us, I don't feel like being intimidated. I don't want Latios out against the Gyarados if it's gonna Mega Evolve. I don't want Swampert out against the Breloom as well. So Metagross is probably the best bet when it comes to Breloom. Nothing on this team really screams like I need Gallade for it. So I'm gonna go with this team once again: Metagross, Swampert, and Latios. And hopefully things can go well in our final battle. Let's see what happens. So, our opponent is going to be starting with... Let's see. Our opponent is going to be leading off with the Donphan. Alright. My guess is it's going to be Scarf. It's probably going to Earthquake. I'm going to go into Latios. It might Ice... If it Ice Shards, then he's good. I can't imagine why he doesn't Earthquake, though, unless he's just brilliant. No, he is going to Earthquake. So that puts us in a pretty decent situation right now. So, let's go for... My guess is the Gardevoir is going to come out. My guess. I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. Wow! He stays in! He's not Scarfed! We are going to get the special D-Drop. It's going to Endeavor. Huh. I'm just going to recover. So the Mawile is going to come in. I am going to go for a Recover. Which means he probably will know I have the Sash. I can't just switch, though, at this point. I'm going to have to go for a Shadow Ball. That thing is going to Mega Evolve, of course, and it's going to go for a Sucker Punch. So it is going to Sucker Punch, which is unfortunate. Well, it's going to bring us down to Sash. Wow, it doesn't Sucker Punch. Is it going to Play Rough, then? Can we get a special D-Drop? Yeah, there's the Play Rough. That'll bring us down to Sash. Now it'll probably Sucker Punch. So I'm going to switch into Metagross, even though I should have actually gone into Swampert, but just in case it goes for a Play Rough, I'm doing this. Yeah, there's the Play Rough. I might have been better off staying in. Huh. Meteor Mash. It's gonna Sucker Punch now. I should have Bullet Punched. I should have Bullet Punched. On the other hand, I think it might have outsped us. Wow, I messed up. I messed up so badly that it's not even funny. Alright, let's Mega Evolve and Earthquake. Even though I bet you he's switching to Latios. Or Gyarados. There's the Gyarados with the Intimidate! The Gyarados with the Intimidate! There are 2 Intimidators on this team. 2 Intimidators! 2! Not 1, 2! Because why would you only need 1? Why would that be such a thing? Why? Come on. Of course the Ice Fang is gonna land, it would never miss. We're gonna go for a Rock Slide, that won't do enough. That won't do anything, because we are in fact we are intimidated. So, you're gonna Waterfall now. So you want that flinch, don't you? That's why you Ice Fang, that's why you Waterfall, and you crit! Crit flinch! Crit and flinch. A crit and a flinch. A critical hit and a flinch on us. You see that kind of hacks? That kind of hacks can only happen to us. You get the crit and the flinch at the same time. Do we get a crit? Do we get a flinch? We never get anything. Ever. That never happens. Swampert likes getting critted and flinched. That Gyarados is going to take down Swampert, and it's going to probably outspeed Latios, because we're not timid, we're modest. And even if it doesn't, then... Even if it doesn't take us out, then it doesn't make a difference, because Mawile is going to take us out anyway with a Sucker Punch. Alright, so the Gyarados is going to go down. So at least it's not a 3-0. But still, the Mawile is going to come out. No, the Donphan is. It's going to go for an Ice in... Alright, Donphan's going to win with that Ice... with the, Ice Shard. So, whatever. That's that. Why didn't you just Ice Shard to begin with, instead of Endeavoring? You obviously weren't Scarfed. You could have won that, but a lot sooner. You see, I don't like when opponents do that, when they just take extra time. I guess this way you secured the win, but still. So that's going to bring us to 16 and 14 with a 2-game differential, which is 5 wins and 5 losses. So overall, we didn't do any, we didn't do too bad, we didn't do too horrible. But, you know what, that's fine. Yesterday, I guess we did better than we did today. Not that I can do anything about that, now can I? So, that's the Battle of Hoenn tournament. This might be the last day. I don't know for sure. I think it might be, because I think that was 30 battles, so, yeah. So, if there's another one, then there's another one, we'll see. If not, then that's the Battle of Hoenn. At least we won more than we lost. We won more than we lost. Granted, it was only a 2-battle differential, but hey. That's the first battle, well, the first Hoenn tournament. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So, thank you for joining me while we entered this competition and tried our best to win as many battles as we can, to think about opponents, not over-predicting, which I did way too much, predicting what opponents might do, without messing up, that is, and just all in all having fun. So, thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.